Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to go behind the walls, literally, to look at the hidden, everyday things that are silently working against your home's plumbing. Trust me, there's a battle happening right now inside your pipes.
Okay, let's just dive right into it. Because the stuff you can't see behind your walls, well, that's what can cause the most damage. It's this silent, slow-motion attack that, honestly, most of us don't even notice until it is way, way too late.
You know, a big plumbing disaster doesn't just happen randomly. It's almost always the final, catastrophic symptom of a long, silent battle. Things like a burst pipe or, a flooded basement, that's the end game. That's the final shot in a war that's been waged for years.
So, here's the crucial point. Your home's plumbing is under constant attack from these invisible forces. And we're talking about a combination of things: environmental factors and the very water that's flowing through your pipes every single day.
Our whole goal here is to kind of shift the conversation. Instead of just reacting to emergencies, let's understand the root causes. We're going to uncover these hidden enemies and hopefully turn you into a more informed, more prepared homeowner.
All right, so where does this attack come from? Well, our first culprit is something you deal with every single day: the climate. Your local weather isn't just happening outside, Your home's plumbing feels every bit of it.
Now this is fascinating. Think about how these temperature extremes create this constant cycle of stress. In places like the desert Southwest, pipes can literally bake at over 115 degrees. They expand. Then at night, the temperature plummets, and they shrink. This constant flexing, back and forth, day after day, weakens the joints and creates these tiny little cracks that just grow over time. And it's not just the air temperature. The very ground your house is sitting on can be another saboteur. In really dry regions, the soil expands and contracts as the seasons change, and moisture levels fluctuate. That puts this immense pressure on underground sewer and water lines, which can lead to cracks without any warning signs on the surface at all.
Okay, next up is a culprit that flows through your pipes every day: hard water. You can't see it, but its effects are, well, they're profound and really destructive over time.
So what exactly is hard water? It's pretty simple, really. It's just water that's carrying a heavy load of dissolved minerals that it picked up from the ground. Now, it's totally safe to drink, but it is incredibly tough on your plumbing.
The main offenders here are two minerals you've probably heard of: calcium and magnesium. So, as this hard water flows through your house, tiny particles of these minerals just cling to the inside of your pipes, and they build up layer by layer. It's almost exactly like plaque building up inside an artery, just slowly choking off the flow.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates that chain reaction. First, that mineral buildup narrows the pipes, which is why you might start seeing lower water pressure. Then, in your water heater, it forms this crust, this scale on the heating element, forcing it to work way harder and eventually just fail. And for older homes, maybe with those old galvanized steel pipes, it dramatically speeds up corrosion from the inside out. Okay, so now that we've met the bad guys, let's talk about the clues they leave behind. These are your home's warning signs. Your plumbing system actually talks to you when it's in trouble. You just have to know how to listen. Let's start with a weird one. That strange gurgling sound your toilet makes when you flush, or maybe even when you use a sink nearby, that is not normal. It could be a sign of a blocked sewer or a vent line, just a classic symptom of a system that's under stress and is literally struggling to breathe.
And there are other clues to listen for too. Slow drains, they often point right back to that mineral buildup we just talked about. If you ever see rusty-colored water, that could mean corrosion inside old steel pipes. Low water pressure, classic sign of hard water buildup. And hey, even pay attention to your floors. Unexplained warm spots can mean there's a hidden hot water leak right under your foundation. These aren't just little annoyances, they are direct messages from your house saying something is wrong. And here's another hidden force: water pressure. A lot of city water systems deliver water at over 80 pounds per square inch, and that's a pressure high enough to seriously damage your fixtures, your appliances, and the joints in your pipes over time. Now, most homes have a pressure regulator to tame this, but those things can fail, and when they do, it's like trying to run a fire hose through a garden hose. Eventually, something is going to give. That's why banging pipes or dripping faucets are such critical warnings. Your system is being overpowered, and a blowout could be right around the corner.
So, how in the world do you fight back against all these invisible enemies? I mean, you can't stop the climate, right? You can't change the city's water supply, but you can be prepared. So let's move into a proactive defense plan for your home.
First off, it really helps to know what to expect when you actually call for help. A professional process shouldn't be some big mystery. It should be a clear, straightforward path. Starts with a diagnosis, gives you upfront options, and ends with a guaranteed repair. Simple as that. A huge part of your long-term defense is the actual material of your pipes. If your home has those older, rust-prone steel pipes, a permanent solution is to upgrade. You've got modern options like PEX, that's a flexible plastic that resists mineral buildup, or copper, which is a super durable industry standard. These can solve these problems for good.
So, the most important point is this. Proactive maintenance is your absolute best weapon. And you can see some of the key tools right here. Flushing your water heater once a year gets all that sediment out. Regular drain cleaning prevents major clogs. And modern tools like pressure testers and little sewer cameras, they let a pro find problems long before they turn into total disasters.
Ultimately, being proactive doesn't just save you a ton of money on emergency repairs. It really protects the value and the safety of your home. It's the difference between you managing your system and letting it manage you.
And that's really the main takeaway here. Your plumbing is constantly communicating with you. Through sounds, through pressure, through all these little signs of trouble, it's telling you its story. And just listening to it, that is your single best defense. So start listening today. Thanks for watching.